Let me bring on today my guests, Joday Boyman, Chief Purpose Officer, and Todd Boyman, Chief Executive Officer of Hungry Planet out of St. Louis. Todd and Joday, thanks for being with me today. Just generally speaking, I get the question a lot, and you probably do too. Oh, I don't want to hear about version 2.0 or 3.0. My food isn't a cell phone. What do you say to that?
Yeah, absolutely agree. Food should be a cultural experience. It should nourish, your body, your soul. It should, help regenerate the planet. And it isn't all about, the gee whiz features out there. I think the way that we really thought about it, there's the saying that a problem well defined is half solved. We spent a lot of time really thinking through, well, what's the problem we're trying to solve? And because this all started so long ago, there was neither a market for it nor anybody clamoring saying, hey, when are you going to get this to market? Because we didn't have outside investors, right? So we didn't have any pressure to get something to market. So we really could take the time to reflect on, well, what's the problem we're trying to solve? And the mission of our business is to bend the curve on personal and planetary health. Full stop, right? That is the mission of our business. So if you take that seriously and you say, well, how do you do that using plant-based meats as what we think is one of the most effective levers to make that change, right? And there's all sorts of data that would support that. We stepped back and said, well, this is a global issue. And globally, pork is the most consumed meat on the planet, and then chicken, and then beef. And then you have crab, turkey, lamb, and all these others. So if we want to look at this holistically and say we want to bend that curve globally, we need to address all meat types. And it's not just planetary health, but it's personal health. So in that initial matrix of what we were trying to solve, it was the nutritional component that was really important. So it was less about the science, and it was more about we defined that as part of, it was absolutely centered to the problem that we wanted to solve. So when you start building out, that matrix of what you're trying to do, and you say, okay, it's plant-based, check. It's taste and texture, check. It's the right natural taste, check. But it's also the nutritional piece. You've got to get that right. And you start with that. And then once we figured that out, we laid onto it, does it handle, store, prepare, and cook like conventional meat? Because you can't come up with something that suddenly is going to break the supply chain, or suddenly chefs, whether professional or at home, are going to be like, okay, what do I do with this?
Yeah.
So it was a multi-dimensional problem that we set out to solve, but we had the benefit of time and no pressure to get it right and get it right the first time to deliver exactly what we are now unveiling for people to explore and hopefully include in their diet